maybe you are right. Okay, you're right. I screwed up, or I need to at least think about this differently. And the hard work of being a human, I think, is knowing when you are dealing with incoming messages that are real. They could be from a healthy source or an unhealthy source. It's complicated. And this is why I mentioned this thing about the internet and social media in particular earlier. I do believe it's borderline. I think if you were to remove the names and the faces, and you would just put that into a script, you'd say this is a dialogue coming from a borderline person, weaving back and forth across the line, literally, of healthy and psychotic. And so as a human, especially nowadays, it's complicated. We don't just live in little villages where we go, okay, well, that person tends to kind of, spin off, and that person seems very grounded, but occasionally makes mistakes too, And so I feel like so much of the work of being I said an adult, but I'm going to replace that with just a human, is trying to know thyself, right, as the Oracle said, and own thyself and report that into the world, but also to be semi-permeable in a way that's functional, is such hard work. Because in both cases, the adoption of what we were told and what was ingrained in us and is unconscious, so that we just live out the script of our parents, or where we say, no, I'm going to leave this little town, or I'm not going to live life or relationships that way at all. I'm going to do it this other completely different way, maybe unconventional way. Both have an element of reactivity in them, and certainly both have an element of there's a vigor behind it.
Sure. No, your point is very well taken and appropriate, because it is a paradox. First of all, in the Eden Project, a book I wrote on relationship and subtitled The Search for the Magical Leather, there is inside of us this infantile and understandable desire to find the right person who's going to make our life work for us, who's going to take care of us, meet our needs, read our minds, et cetera, you see. And the other person has that going on in them, so they project that onto us. You wonder why relationships get so complex, you see.